Hello and welcome. You're with us here on another exciting behind the scenes conversation on what was a fabulous cover story, the Business Today issue, the luxury special. Saurav Majumdar with us, the editor of Business Today. I'm going to kickstart with you, Saurav, and then bring in Bandeep, Smita, Krishna, all of the people that helped to really put together this fabulous cover story that's made so much noise. Tell us really what the inspiration was. Is luxury making a big comeback? And, the fact that you had not just Darshan, but a proper fashion cover on a business magazine.
That's right, Abha. Actually, I think the thinking was that the luxury segment has really, as we know that it took a really severe knock last year, and thanks to COVID, and it fell pretty badly last year, down by about 33%, and then this year after the second wave. Which was very, very debilitating and unfortunate for the whole country and for everybody else. I think there has been quite a dramatic upturn in the luxury segment, which is now visible. I mean, you and I have both, all of us have been at luxury malls in the recent past and seen the kind of, the crowds both at the high street and the malls and the luxury stores in those malls. And I think there is a resurgence of the big spender coming back. That was, in fact, the sort of starting point of what we thought we could put on the cover, which is why we are calling it Revival of Luxury. And when we said that, we thought that, luxury issues are there. There are luxury issues in the market, but how do we become different? How does BT make a different point and make a very, very forceful point about the revival of the luxury segment. So the one idea which we thought would work is for us to look at it as a kind of a celebration, of luxury coming back. And not the usual generic kind of cover. And I must say, that Darshan and Reliance Brands, they were quite sporting when we suggested to them that they do this fashion shoot kind of a concept. And Reliance Brands is, of course, a story in the magazine also, because it is a company which has more than 60 top of the line brands which it has brought into India. All the big ones are there with them, and so therefore we thought it could be a good metaphor. The Reliance Brands CEO standing with these very, very smart models and wearing the portfolio brands for the cover. And I think so far from the feedback we are getting, it's worked out pretty well.
So, Bandeep, Krishna, tell us about this cover and, in terms of where the idea came to make it a fashion shoot. And then Bandeep, I want to also know how it played out on ground, really putting together the models, the styling, like really doing it differently.
Okay, for one thing, Reliance as a company or as a group is known to be fairly reticent. So, and most people won't even know that they have this roster of brands. So, the whole idea was to surprise the reader and tell them that, Hugo Boss is from the Reliance stable, for example. These are not things that are commonly known. So if you look at it, it's about 70 brands and they've added 2 more as we speak. So the whole interesting part was a company with a clear B2C focus, conspicuous and yet invisible at the same time. I think that was really the thought process, and that made it mighty interesting for us. And luxury is a strange business because it's big ticket investment for the people in the business. It has still a very limited audience because of affordability. And to think that a low profile company was running a high profile business, I think made for an interesting paradox, at least in the minds of all of us. So once that was clear, I think the rest of the idea pretty much flowed, because at least we knew what we were getting at. We knew these guys were the largest and will continue to grow thanks to the fact that the portfolio will get enhanced at some point. And I think the interesting thing, one thing I would certainly like to mention here, is that by default now, and I think by way of strategy in the time to come, for every large luxury brand coming into India, Reliance, I think, will perhaps become the first port of call in that sense. So that made the whole thing a little interesting.
May I also add here, Abha, that actually, if you look at the cover, it's a marriage between the two concepts. One is what Krishna is saying, but the cover story, if you really look at it that way, is about the resurgence of luxury, which is why we wanted to put Reliance Brands as a metaphor, which I said earlier. It is actually the sort of coming together of these two things. The largest player in in the luxury brand space, sort of standing and as a metaphor for the resurgence of the sector itself.
Okay, Vandeep, take us through the shoot and what it was like on ground. We love hearing your creative take to things and how it was different to some of what you do regularly when it comes to the business covers.
This was a very unusual cover image to do because it was it was a marriage between, just said, it was a marriage between an idea of a cover story of Reliance brand and brands, the company, and also the idea of the revival of luxury. So in that very way, it was a marriage between two cover shooting concepts. It was a corporate shoot and a fashion shoot dovetailed together, and which was a very interesting challenge to do, because Darshan Mehta's portrait had to be done with young high fashion models, dressed in Reliance brand company outfits, which are really, really high fashion outfits, and they have their own fashion protocols. So it had to be executed in a very, very fast way, because Darshan was traveling and he could give time only, which was, at the cusp of our deadline, and a fashion image is not produced the way a normal corporate business image is produced. Fashion image takes its own time. It has its own styling, requirements. It has its own sourcing. Outfits have to be sourced. All the brands had to be represented. So it was quite a challenge to manage it in such a short time, and all thanks to the patience shown by the editors. Even though they were tearing at their hair, I could feel it on the other side of the phone. But it was very interesting to execute. We couldn't have done it all by ourselves. Nandini Bhalla, the editor of Fortune of Cosmopolitan, really helped us out by providing us a stylist at a very short notice, when the entire market had no stylists available. Everybody was booked. And so Shaurya, a very young, talented stylist, stepped in. He sourced all the outfits in one day, got the hair and makeup done. We had the models at the Reliance office. Early morning, we had the models there, and we had, the whole setup. It was not a studio setup. We created a studio setup in their office, and the entire office was gaping at us, all these models strutting about like, in their plumes, their colored outfits, and we guys, biting our nails because the shoes and the outfits are so expensive that, the worry that if it would damage even one small outfit, it's very, very expensive. A Bottega Veneta stiletto that the models were wearing in this thing costed anything around 1.5 lakh rupees, and but it was very interesting to do. Darshan was very, very cooperative, and he blended very well with the models. There is, apart from the cover image, a very interesting image to me was the one that we used inside as the opening image of the story, with the light streaming in through the blinds and forming a line pattern on the faces, and in the middle of that, Darshan lit by a special light. It was very exciting to do. I think Saurabh should tell us more about the heartburn and the anxiety that he faced while the cover was being produced, at the nick of the time.
Absolutely. And Krishna, I'm sure that this was a shoot you would have liked to actually be there for. I know you were doing a lot of the back-end emergency coordination as well.
Oh yes, Krishna was, majorly involved, in this whole thing. Me, with the India Today conclave happening on another level, coordinating between this shoot. So Krishna was the bridge who helped everything, who helped get Darshan on board, because Darshan had never done something like this before. And he was, there was in his office, one could see there was a palpable sense of, apprehension about how this will look, how this will, how Darshan's brand image would fit into this kind of a expression, so it was Krishna who played that Pied Piper who, got everybody, dancing to his tunes.
No, I think Bandeep is right. It was in recent covers we've done, and we've done quite a few interesting ones with Bandeep also. I think this was a very, very challenging one for the reasons Bandeep just mentioned. It was it was a very elaborate shoot. Because you had to get a lot of these moving parts together on the same day. Darshan was traveling. To convince Darshan itself was the first big task, which I think we cannot thank Krishna enough for this, because he really was the one who got sold him the idea that this is the way we are looking at it and you must do it. And Darshan did it. And like I said, it was, there was the conclave, which Bandeep, if you see the India Today issue itself, Bandeep's pictures are all over. So he had to do a lot of work for that. And yet, we had to complete this. So there was a whole lot of things which were playing out. And yes, a part of the editor's life is to sort of hang on to these things and wait and see the result once it comes out and it's the way it has is I think makes up for all the heartburn and all the tension which goes through during the issue. And Smita can tell us in fact about the kind of other things which we've done in the luxury issue. Many of those stories are Smita's, and it will be great to hear from her as well.
Go ahead, Smita.
Yeah, hi. So, since we were discussing about the revival of luxury and how the big spenders are back, we wanted to also promote various things that you can actually spend on. So give them ideas. So for instance, we've done a story on how you can eat gold-covered food in Dubai. Dubai is opened for the Indian tourists today, and there are a host of restaurants which are serving you steak covered in gold or coffee with gold foil on it. So it's just one of the things that we are talking about that you can spend on that. Then we have done a piece on various suites, luxury suites across the country. So if you're not traveling abroad and if you want to indulge in a holiday in India, these are some of the suites where you can be treated like a Maharaja and you can go and stay there. So that's another piece that we've done, which is about indulgence, about where you can travel within India and what you can do. There's another piece on luxury watches, and it's a collectible item. And for collectors and those looking for what next, what next to adorn their wrists with. So we've done a piece on luxury watches, which are really high-end and exclusive pieces, limited editions that one could lay their hands on. Then another interesting piece is on your poison habit the way you like it. But if you really are into alcohol, and these are some of the most cherished brands that you should be looking at, whether it's whiskey, whether it's wine, some which have a waiting list of over a decade, and you can't get it in the from the store. You have to buy it in the second-hand market because it's so special and so limited edition wines. So these are just some of the pieces that we've done to sort of tell people that this is real luxury and this is where they can indulge in. And of course, Bandeep has a photo essay which talks about a lot of things. Yes. In India, made in India, which is pure luxury. What the kind of effort, the kind of craftsmanship that has gone behind making those things. So maybe Bandeep can talk about the.
Yes,
photo
I think
essay.
that's a very interesting photo essay which Bandeep has done, apart from, of course, the cover and other photographs for the magazine. See, the whole idea, like I said, Abha, we wanted to project it like a kind of a celebration of the return of luxury. And I think, what in various parts of the issue, what comes through is this whole thing of, indulgence and, this whole, the class is actually, the kind of spending which you want to do in these uber, at the uber rich level and the high end products, etc. So Bandeep can just take us through some of the items which are there in his photo essay, which is very, very interesting and is one of the high points of this issue, actually.
This essay was, again, Saurav's pushing. Saurav wanted, the issue not just to have content of luxury, but also luxury visible in the pages in terms of how, the issue should also feel luxurious in terms of the whole appeal, in the visual appeal of the issue. So, we decided to carry a photo feature, and carrying on from, my writings in Fortune magazine, we decided to create something unique for Business Today, which was taking on the pick of what is the pick of Indian luxury that has been created, handcrafted in India. And, more than the pictures, it was the research of trying to understand and trying to get hold of the select pieces that we have done for the photo feature. These are really, really exclusive pieces. Just to tell you about them, there is, we've written about the most expensive tea that has been ever crafted in India, a 2 lakh rupees kilo Darjeeling tea crafted by Tea Box. The only luxurious, pen manufacturer in India, who sells limited edition pens that sell off within an hour of launching those pens. Then there is, a single piece handcrafted Banarsi Jamdani, a one-of-a-kind piece that has been created, just to revive the old tradition of Jamdani weaving, which can take about 6 to 8 months per sari, to weave.
It sounds like you covered such beautiful, unique, things across the country, Bandeep. But it was also interesting in our conversation with Darshan, Krishna, and I had the chance to speak to him as well, was how he was talking about how the definition of luxury is also changing. And did you find that, Krishna, across the issue in terms of some of the things that you featured? That today, while you have the limited editions and the timeless pieces and the uber luxury, you also have a new segment of luxury that more and more people can access.
Well, in his own lexicon, he says the market is down to just 10 million people. So that's as clear as they can be in terms of understanding the business. And it's also a little funny because the moment you mention luxury, he takes a bit of a backseat. He defines it as something that money can't buy. So he says the moment I use the word luxury, it gives the impression of being completely inaccessible, as if it's not for me. So he says, do not attach a monetary tag to the whole thing, which I found rather interesting because in the minds of most people, me included for sure, the moment it's luxury, you start looking for your credit card and want to ensure there's no damage to it. So I think the refreshing thought process was something which really stuck in my mind. So at least from a accessories point of view, from an apparel point of view, that definition just stuck in most, and more importantly, the whole ability to create a robust and a viable proposition out of something that seemed inaccessible, that really stands out in my mind. So it's not as if you just have one shop at, let's say, an airport and it's there because it has to be there. Here they're speaking of creating a network of stores, bringing in the money, and creating a viable business proposition. That I think really stands out in my mind. But I think Smita is probably better qualified to open up a little more, apart from just the Darshan part of it, because the other portfolio of her stories really opens up a great deal as far as what you're asking.
Abha, I want to also put a context to this issue. In this particular issue, which is all about luxury, we also have a very important business confidence index finding. So Business Today's quarterly business confidence index is now at a 10-quarter high. So corner rooms are now feeling much more optimistic about the economy, the growth prospects of economic growth. We know that the Reserve Bank of India has maintained a 9.5% growth. IMF has reiterated that figure. So, things are looking slightly better after the devastation of the second wave and, of course, the first wave. So, India can, like I said in my edit also, probably India can afford a bit of a smile now as we head into the festive season. And I think that was also the context of this issue. That, we've really had it rough. We've really had it rough for over 18 months now. And probably it's time to, let ourselves smile and look at some of the happier things in life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, all of you, for your time. And I think, Saurav, you put that really well. Let's not give it all away. Let everyone have a chance to browse through this beautiful issue with the photo essay, with in-depth features and a close look at some of the trends emerging in some of the categories, and products and services, experiences in the luxury market that are emerging and booming. Thanks so much, all of you, for your time, and we look forward to yet another issue coming up very soon.